than hers.
All right. Hello again, Avengers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Metroid Inquest. Yes, this is my heavily modified Lancer tabletop RPG powered Metroid themed mini campaign, and the people below me are all excited because this is the last episode, and so cool stuff is going to happen. Hopefully, I
Who
think
will
cool stuff.
live? Who will die?
We're about to find out if these guys can blow up a space station like Samus, or if they find a way to not do that.
I
Where's
think
the fun in
the
that?
mission wasn't to blow it up, I don't think. It's what we should
It
do,
wasn't,
but I don't know if it's
but-
what we're going to do.
No, I think
It
they actually-
wasn't
no,
not to blow up the space station.
I believe no. They actually did say they were going to detonate after the core got ejected.
The rest of it. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Look, yeah, they said deliver the core. They didn't say in how many pieces.
Yeah. Anyway, announcements. Elias, what Metroid-based announcements are there?
This week in the Metroid News Corner, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, still scheduled to release some point next year. Every other Metroid game, still playable in some form or fashion across various Nintendo consoles. This concludes this week's installment of Metroid News Corner.
And you know, I have heard extremely reliable rumors that not only is the Switch 2 already out, and has been for 4 years, but
I
that
also have a Switch OLED, yes.
the Switch 2, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is actually going to be a launch title for the Switch 7. So, like, that's
Where are you getting
really,
these
really
rumors,
cool.
Jody?
The same place.
Twitter? X? Yeah.
The same place where they've told me for the past 4 years that we're getting an announcement for the Switch 2.
Maybe mute that one.
Still waiting for my Switch Pro.
Yeah! Remember the Switch Pro for like
No, because it didn't exist.
3 years? Anyway. So yeah, cool stuff going there. Right now, going on for, I think, at least a couple weeks. If you were here a year ago, I did a mini campaign using the Fabula Ultima system. Bundle of Holding right now actually has a Fabula Ultima bundle. You pay $15, you get the core book, the 2 atlases that are basically just expansion books, and the GM materials, all for $15. It's nice. I think 3 of the people here played in the Fabula Ultima campaign, and it was a ton of fun. We killed off Scott's character at the end, so that was cool. The very end, the like last blow on the enemy just happened to take out Scott's character, and I go, by the way, the way that like death works in Fabula Ultima is you actually get to choose if your character dies or not. You can either choose to die, but you get to go out in some spectacular fashion, or you can choose to live, but you're going to have some kind of scar or something that affects your character for the rest of the campaign. However, since the campaign is over, you know, there's no downside to just surviving this. And he goes, no, I want to go out. I want to go out like something awesome. So he did. He took the bad guy, flew him into space, and exploded. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Mom?
So, yeah. And now Fabula Ultima has druids. The techno fantasy atlas added I think they call it the mutant class, but it allows you to change into stuff. It's a druid, you know, or it's a mutant. Who knows? So, and they also have I can't remember if it's in the techno fantasy or if it's in the next one's coming out, but they have one that just cooks stuff. Like, the whole class is I cook things, and depending on what I cook, things happen.
You can do delicious in dungeon.
Apparently, that I still need to finish that season. Oh, look, the best viewers? No way. I've always wanted the best viewers.
Don't forget to remove the space. Oh, you remove more than the space.
I love that troll is part of their name.
Yeah. Yeah, it's they're not even trying anymore.
Gotta love it. Spam bots are fun. So anyway, anything else going on in the TTRPG world? It's almost 2025, and I think in February here, end of January, early February, we're getting the monster manual for D&D 5.5, so that should be cool.
About February, I believe.
Somewhere around there. It involves 2025.
Can't wait to see how much lore they took out.
We'll see. Like, that's been the one thing I don't like about. And then for the
And unnecessary changes. I hope. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be salty about Pseudo Dragons. They took one of my favorite kids and for some reason removed limited telepathy. I'm hoping maybe they'll put it back with the bestiary. I don't know.
well, the weird thing, the DM's guide, they basically have an entire campaign setting book just shoved in the middle of the DM's guide with crap tons of lore, and they have an entire appendix which is just lore, but they took lore out of literally everything else in the game. It's the weirdest thing in the world. I cannot understand what these people are doing. But also, there's the first Unearthed Arcana for D&D 5.5. They
Artificer.
released the Artificer, which has barely changed. Like, I went over it, and there's really not a ton of changes from.
It
It was a
seems
pretty
like
late edition to fifth edition anyway, so they probably
Yeah.
didn't have to mess with too much.
they were
Right?
trying to add more utility to the magical tinkering side of things.
Which I don't think worked really well. And they got rid of, like, infusions in general. Now, artificers just build magic items. And the few infusions that didn't exist as magic items before are now their own magic items. Like repeating shot weapons now is an actual full magic item instead of just an infusion that a artificer can only make. Which it's a thing. I don't think it's that interesting. I liked them better as infusions. It gave something kind of unique to artificers.
You just had to do a lot of monkeying around in order to actually make it work as an item.
So, anyway, so that stuff's going on. Well, due to the fact that this should be interesting, I think it's time for us to return to Metroid Inquest.
We who are about the bounty hunter salute you. Ah, that's good festivity.
The bounty hunters have activated two of the generators they needed to get to the computer core in sample storage. As they did, the barriers cutting it off from the rest of the station all opened, and they heard the sound of the space pirates entering that area. So now, the bounty hunters, expecting a fight, are slowly making their way to the center, where hopefully they will be able to complete their mission and return to the Galactic Federation for their reward. All right, so when we were here last, I think the very last thing that we did, you guys went to the xenobiotics lab where the floor was squishy. You
Oh yeah.
you discovered,
Yeah, the metal properties somehow changed.
you know,
There
The
was
floor.
there was people got raptured,
The floor was half X. It's fine.
and orange puddles were left behind.
so yeah. Uh, and after you guys discovered some notes that you weren't supposed to see about some of the experiments that were going
Yeah.
that in that
Well,
area.
Echo tried to basically do this, and we were like, "Hey, Echo, like, what are you doing?" And like, and I think who was it? Rozhenko?
It's like, I
Yeah.
don't know what that sound is. My phone's malfunctioning. It keeps making the take a picture sound for no reason, and I'm definitely not pointing it at the screen or anything.
Definitely not hitting the two button combo for screen capture every 5 seconds.
So, so yeah, and then after activating the generator, you guys heard the doors open, and then you heard kind of a squabble coming from the computer core in sample storage.
We went a running.
So that is
Zeko
where
said we're out of time.
So, as you guys are moving down the hallway, how does this sound? In this area right here on the map, I might as well put the map in so the audience can see it too. Why don't you guys give me your marching order? The hallway itself is wide enough for you guys to be two abreast. So if you want to be in rows of two, or if you want to be in single file, it's up to you guys. Brick, you can only be.
I was gonna say, I don't know how
I just
that
love
works.
how he spawned on top of me. So I was just like, man, I think I'll be here. Crush.
Smash! Man, I knew I forgot something. Where was? Oh, standing on my buddy.
Darn it.
If only I had
Oh,
chosen
darn
the
it.
goblin suit.
I stepped in Tevlin, everybody. Scrape!
I had a
Now I am one with the orange goop.
I had a friend in middle school who was like 6'4" in like the 4th grade. He was huge, and his whole family is very very tall except for his brother Mike. And so I went over to their house one time to hang out with my friend, and I think I was invited for dinner or something. So we're all sitting on the couch, and his mother comes around and sees everybody except Mike, and so she goes, "Okay, guys, it's about time to go. Hey, where's Mike?" And my friend, without missing a beat, goes, "Wait, everybody, stop! Check your shoes."
Brothers, am I right?
Yeah. So that was
So hang
my
on.
immediate thought for Brick was of going, "Whoa, everybody, wait! Check your shoes."
So this guy was 6'10" or 6'4" at 10 years old, or was he like held back 3 years?
No, he was the same age as I was. He just like and he may have been close to like 5'11", 6 foot at that point, but he was just really really tall in like the 4th and 5th grade. Like he was taller than most of our teachers in that. And I think he finally, when he stopped growing, he was like 6'7" or 6'8". Like he was a huge dude. Went into acting, surprisingly enough.
You're tall, you got options.
Yeah. I think he played a lighting fixture. So yeah, why don't you guys go ahead and give me your marching order here, and then we'll get going.
Bear in mind, if I'm in the lead, that way you guys can use me as hard cover.
I'm
Yes.
completely okay with you being in the lead. Could not be more okay with it.
Also, with him being in the lead and taking up the entirety of the hallway, it means all of you will be moving 3 squares a turn.
Well, at least until we get in there and see what's up.
Yeah. All right. So, with Brick in the lead, you guys are slowly starting to push down this hallway. And compared to the other ones that you've gone down, This one is definitely a different experience. The other ones, as soon as they got power back, they, for the most part, worked the way you would expect them to. You know, one of them was full of combustible gas, and the other one was all squishy, but the light still worked and everything like that. This one, as you're going down, you're seeing lights kind of blinking every so often. You'll see a spark shoot out from an exposed panel, and that, like, this hallway in and of itself looks rough. You can see scorch marks. You can see torn bits of metal in places. And as you guys continue to go, you eventually come to a blast door that is partially closed. But you can see the door itself is bent and misshapen, so it's kind of jammed in like a half-open position. What do you all want to do?
Brick?
Yeah.
The door, if you will.
Oh god, I get to break out my other little toy here. Here's Yzma, and and he has will bust out his siege ram.
Okay. I was going to ask for a hull check. Why don't you just make an attack roll and see if the door survives?
I put it in chat what it does.
Let's see here.
So you guys watch as Brick pulls out from a place that none of you can figure out where this massive, basically just a large metal like pillar with handles on it comes out.
It's just the mech version of the SWAT rams. Just
Yeah. And so he kind of brings it out.
Like a small building he's ramming into this door.
pretty much. It's not even part. It's like that. That's a side
basically
thing.
has like a semi-trailer.
I don't have to
with
spend
handles.
SP on it or anything. It's one of the options it comes with.
It says Mersk on the side.
So yeah.
I'm sorry, it does cost SP. I did have to include that in my thing.
So go ahead and give me an attack roll.
What's the evasion on a door? A little higher than a 2? I mean,
It's mostly checking to see if he gets a nat.
oh yeah, good.
If he gets
Yeah,
a crit.
okay.
Does apply fist of faces apply to this since this is not a battle scenario?
You know what?
Combat.
Go for it. Normally I'd say no, but go for it.
It's an attack.
Knock knock.
It's not really applying fist to faces. It's applying a semi-trailer. It's applying
I
Optimus
just
Prime.
feel
to
bad
a
for the
wall,
pirates
but-
right on the other side of this door that are just about to get like plastered against a wall.
Okay, well, 18 plus 4.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a crit. So, so you guys watch as he just kind of leans back and boom, and the entire door is launched.
I'll need to pull a lever.
As you guys go in, you can see the door is now impaled in the roof of this very large room. Luckily, it has not damaged the structural integrity of this place, but you are slightly worried that if too much happens, it might fall.
Not really a worry, but useful information.
So, as you guys come into this room, the room itself is massive, easily 2,000 feet long. Like the sphere itself is easily 2,000 feet into diameter. There is a set of walkways that go to the center where you can see this massive computer core that goes all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom. And then as you look around, you can see various kind of containers and rooms and stuff like that that are all plastered in various places inside this large spherical structure. And just like the hallway you came from, you can see there's like bits of sparks kind of shooting off from exposed panels, and you can see the remnants of weapons fire. Like you can still see kind of glowing edges of metal that's recently been burned. Those of you that have fought space pirates before would recognize kind of the plasma residue of their weapons. But the one thing that you don't see is space pirates.
Hmm.
Can I sneakily look around, like, around some corners, just, try to get some angles on
Sure.
places we can't easily see from this position?
Go ahead and make me a skill check.
They say that it's not a Metroid game without corpses or tentacles, and I think we're about to see one of those things. Which one? Who knows? Skill check.
Maybe both of them. Who knows?
Maybe in the same thing. All right, skill check. That's D20 plus the grit.
So, skill check is just a D20 roll, DC 10. And if you have any triggers that you think apply,
Right.
you can add those. If you
not,
don't,
then the grit.
you can just add your grit.
Well, I have investigate, so that might be applicable here.
Definitely. Or if you're doing it
How?
sneaky, I think you also have a stealth one. So
I
you
don't,
theoretically.
actually.
Oh, sorry. Then never mind. I must be thinking. About that.
So it's grand total of 6,
6. So,
which is below 10.
yeah.
Believe it or not. And just in case, there are reroll tokens as channel point rewards. But continue, Jody.
Anyone watching, if you'd like to use your channel points to give these guys reroll tokens or other
Troll or
cool
Chew,
things.
you want redemption? Then,
Yeah.
it's...
If it wasn't for the fact that I banned
I'll
you
forgive
and block you. Sure. So, you guys watch as, because if I remember correctly, Tevlin, your particular mech, as you move, you have that kind of moving cloak thing, right?
Yeah, like if I were in initiative, so to speak,
Yeah.
I would sort of list like
So because you're trying
be
to
difficult to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because you're trying to be as stealthy as possible, you guys watch as Trevlin starts kind of sneaking
Scouting.
around and trying to be as invisible as possible, and he does get slightly more difficult to see. And as you're kind of looking around, you're not noticing, like, you can see the remnants of battle, like plasma residue and obvious places where explosions have happened, but you're not seeing who did it. And it's starting to get frustrating. As you're walking, you suddenly step on a plate, and you hear the sound of metal scraping against metal, and suddenly you are free falling as the plate that you were standing on was structurally unstable and just kind of broke, and you start plummeting down and down. I'm gonna say,
Does everybody but me have thrusters?
you take 6 points of kinetic damage as you slam into one of the modules below you that stops your fall about 30 feet down.
No.
You feel the module actually shift
Watch yourself.
underneath you a little bit, and you realize that all of these modules, like all these different rooms and stuff that you can see around this sphere, are not actually permanent. They're designed to be kind of modular and mobile. And so the one that you're on, one of the things that's attaching it to the wall has kind of broken. It seems to still have quite a few other ones. You don't feel like it's going anywhere, but it seems that everything in this room is designed to be able to be taken out of it.
Okay. All right. First things first, I'm okay. Thanks for asking. No, your concern is fine. It's noted. It's good. Um, secondly, yeah, watch your step. This floor, this room seems to be very modular and prone to sudden movement, which is definitely what happened to me just now. Not a fall or an accident of any kind.
What the rest of you like to do? We'll say cheesy. As you come in, uh, Echo starts speaking to you. The computer core is in front of you. As soon as you can access it, the commands that should allow us to detach this section should be located there. And Echo seems very kind of adamant about you going and starting the decoupling process. So what do y'all want to do?
I would like to use my Lotus Protector drones
Okay.
to just start scanning for invisible enemies or kind of enemies in cover, just kind of flying around in a sweeping pattern.
Sure. Go ahead and make me a skill check. I'll give you 1 accuracy for your Lotus drones.
Okay.
Rick's gonna go, Devlin, can you get out of there?
And I'm also going to use Spot as my trigger.
Okay.
DM, can I get out of there?
Do you have any way for vertical movement? Do you have like jump boosters or
I
anything
have maneuverability jets, which lets me hover when I move, but I don't know. I might have to like do something to get vertical thrust with
like that?
gravity.
You can climb, or
Yeah,
if somebody
or
wants,
if there's something I could climb.
yeah,
I don't
you
know.
you think with some effort you can probably climb your way up there, or if somebody wants to find something that they can lower down to help you up. Either of those would work, but maneuverability thrusters don't give you vertical thrust.
Yeah, okay. I think I can climb out of here, but a rope wouldn't say no to that.
Go over. I'm happy. But guys, and the people who to,
Did you say your mech's knife?
yeah.
That won't end poorly. Now he is 30 feet down, so
Yeah.
Oh, alright.
so
Yeah,
it's
if that
it's
Like
was an option,
yeah.
Sephiroth's sword. He's just
I mean, if that was an option,
By
I'd
knife
lower it
I
down hammer.
mean Masamune.
Alright, yeah, I didn't realize he was that far down.
no, it's my fault. I should have specified it was a lengthy fall, but I think I can climb out.
Okay.
Just give me a minute here.
So while all that's
I can get it to
happening,
climb.
Uh,
Rashiko? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, 17 on my check.
Okay. So as you are kind of looking around, you notice that the panel that Tevlin fell through, you start realizing that the panel itself, while it was damaged, the reason that it fell through was not exclusively to the damage. That particular panel is designed to act as a trap door. And it seems like the ladder that's supposed to be there has just been destroyed. But there's a reason, like, obviously there's some reason why someone would want to go down that particular area.
All right, I will pass that along to everybody else and try to see, are there other trap doors that seem
As far
like
as
they
you can
may
tell,
be weak?
that's the only one.
Okay.
Which again, like having the ability to go to other levels, like there are ladders and stuff so that you can get to these different rooms. There are no, this is the only hidden panel that you found in the entire area.
How far away is it to the core?
You can get there, like the core itself is basically in the center. So from like the edge of the room to the center, it's probably about like, because it's really big, it's probably about 800 feet ish, because it's a really really big core. So you can get there just by walking to it, because there's a
All right.
path that goes right to it.
I mean, I'm gonna start heading that way, just watching out for any more of these trap doors.
Okay. And other than some, panels sparking and stuff as you pass it, there's no real issue. So what do the rest of you guys want to do?
Yes, we're moving forward. I guess we're gonna find out if there's any other anything else waiting for us in here.
Yep. We'll just follow
Yeah.
along. Eyes peeled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheesy, as you get to the core itself, you can hear Echo saying, "Start accessing the core systems. I will implant any access codes that are needed."
Press the power button, get to the password screen. Yeah, I'll start.
Okay. Yes, Trevlin?
As I'm climbing and somewhat away from the group, I'm going to take the opportunity to check in with Tali
Mm-hmm.
to see if that long-term background scan I had her start when we showed up on Cheesy's suit with the Echo integration
Mm-hmm.
had any concerning results, or if she found anything worth noting.
Speaking on a frequency that only you can hear.
Yeah, just to her. Yeah.
She basically informs you by installing Echo onto their suit. Echo has overrides to basically almost every system.
Full control of the suit itself, right?
Yeah. You don't think that she can actually, that Echo can actually pilot the suit, but it can freeze the suit completely.
Okay. And were there any weaknesses found within the suit, or no?
Not that you could. I mean, not that aren't kind of obvious in.
No magic red button. Yeah. Okay. All right.
As you're going, your AI also goes, mentions to you, or as you're starting to climb, the AI is giving you directions, and at a weird interval, it tells you of a handhold that doesn't exist. Like you look and there's nothing there.
There's nothing there, Tali. What do you mean?
You are incorrect.
I'm gonna reach my hand to the general area and
as you do, you notice as you touch something and you can see a field kind of shimmer as you recognize cloaking technology.
okay.
And yeah, there's a corner there that seems to lead somewhere else, but because it's really, really good cloaking technology, unless you physically feel your way around, you have no idea what you're grabbing onto or how far it goes or anything.
Take my hand off and see if
Okay.
there's any response.
It kind of shimmers, kind of like if you touch an LCD screen, where it kind of
Yeah.
same basic
Okay.
principle.
Okay. Thank you, Talia. And I'm gonna switch back to group comms and say, there may be cloaked things and or people here. So
As soon as you say that, all of you get kind of static in your headsets, and you immediately can all hear Echo. That is none of your concern. Return to the main deck so that we can continue the separation protocol.
hello? Can anyone hear me?
I can.
Comms are still working, but for whatever reason, they were overridden for a second by Echo.
Yeah,
All
we
right,
can
well,
hear you.
So you heard what I said about the cloaked objects or
Again,
people?
return to the main deck. We must finish the decoupling process, and if you are below the main deck, you may be crushed by moving objects as it
Yeah.
prepares to be sequestered.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to climb up, but there is a cloaked object in my way.
That is not of your concern. No more discussion about that particular idea will be permitted.
Edward will start going over to the trap door
Yeah.
and start looking down.
Hunter
I'm gonna reach.
Roshenko, as soon as you start moving over there, you get a message from Echo. Hunter Roshenko, we need your assistance. Apparently, there are additional systems that have been added by the space pirates to prevent me from accessing the correct systems. Please report to the computer core and deal with these.
Oh, crap. On the one hand,
He knows your buttons.
the AI is asking for my help.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, Roshenko's going back to the panel.
Okay.
I'll keep we if for the close out.
Okay. As you start kind of looking around, you suddenly get a pop-up on your visor that basically is a personal message to you from Echo saying they've detected a cloaked space pirate, and they give you coordinates from where you are. They basically give you vectors to where they think it is. And they say eliminate it quickly before it's able to attack your teammates.
Will I be able to? I don't know what the equivalent is. That would be.
You can analyze the signal that you're being given right now to see if it seems like a sensor ghost or if it seems like it's actually a real anomaly. Because right now, like, you're basically being fed vectors and coordinates that are kind of pointing and moving, kind of showing an object that is moving to the from where you're looking. You'd be like here and there for the kind of 360 thing. So that would be just be a skill test, and if you have a trigger that you think would apply to figuring out if someone's feeding you false readings.
Will we the situation?
I think that works.
That would be not cool, so 22.
So, looking at these readings, it's fairly obvious to you that you're being fed fake readings. There's nothing there. But the readings themselves are really, for lack of a better term, they're amazingly good fakes. Like, you've dealt with cloaked creatures before.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a new thing. You cloak all the time.
Yeah.
Like, the readings that you're giving are not that you're being fed are not just, oh, look over there, I think I saw something moving. Like, these are very specific readings that you would 100% expect these specific kinds of readings if you were particularly hunting for a cloaked bounty, which, unless you've done this a lot, like they're feeding you readings and things that they wouldn't know. Excuse me, that they wouldn't know unless they'd actually hunted cloaked creatures before. Like, this is really, really high end fakery. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I think knowing that I just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I am call the how at a block so to speak.
So I didn't get the last part of that. You're going to keep doing what you're doing, and then what?
I gonna basically call at a block and keep doing what I'm doing.
Okay. So as you're doing that, Trevelyan, did you have something?
I was just gonna say, whenever, Echo told me to shut up, um, I'm gonna reach again for the cloaked object and just try to like feel on it, make sure it's something support, and just try to feel like what shape, what this thing could be
Okay.
from the distortion and the feel and everything.
So as you're doing that, suddenly a panel next to you explodes, and I'd like you to make me a. I have to remember what the term is. Make me an agility save, check, whatever it is.
And a save is
Just a
a
d20 roll, add your agility.
plus 0, which is an 8.
Okay. So this panel explodes. You take 1 point of energy damage, and it knocks you off, and you are now free falling again. As soon as that happens, you get another pop up, Fleming, that actually showed you that the thing that you're supposed to be tracking that's fake just shot at Trevelyan. While this is going on, Rashenko, as you get to the terminal, you can see like full on 90s hackers movies. You can see the various viruses that they've put in that are starting to cause issues. How do you want to deal with them?
Oh no, have they launched a cookie monster?
Yeah,
Or do I need to?
they've lost Cookie Monster, and the virus
Rabbit.
is attacking the kernel, and it's a rabbit.
Please tell me that Cheesy and Rashenko both are like typing on the keyboard at the same time and, pull NCIS.
So, do I get the sense that any of this is actually like really computer viruses, or
I mean, there are definitely computer viruses on there. Like, that's fairly obvious. No check required.
but I'm just trying to I'm trying to think whether or not Rashenko would be aware enough.
Go ahead and make me a skill check to see if you recognize the viruses.
Okay. So I'm assuming I can use my trigger hacking and fix to tell that.
Absolutely.
Would my background of a hacker also give me a
Sure.
benefit?
Go ahead and you'll take an accuracy for that.
Okay. How's that? Math. Plus 17.
17. Yeah. So as you are kind of looking at these things, and you just kind of instinctively start kind of dealing with them, the viruses themselves, these are space pirate viruses. You've dealt with these before, but these are really smart space pirates. Like, most space pirates are not really known for their hacking skills. They're kind of blunt instruments.
They're script kiddies.
Yeah. These are really, really not just impressive viruses. These are adaptive, mimicking almost AI powered viruses. As soon as you get rid of one, another one just appears. Which, if you were like actively fighting against another person that's trying to, take over a computer, you might expect more viruses to start showing up. But you're the only one connected to this terminal other than Cheesy. Every time you fix a virus, a new one shows up. And they start.
Are we sure Cheesy's not the problem?
I don't think it's cheesy.
Well,
And
Yeah, I don't
they
think it's
start
cheesy.
and they start predicting and reacting to the various methods that you're using.
Okay. So, all right. So Rashenko is getting the idea. Okay, if it's not me, it's not cheesy. This has to be Echo putting things in there to slow me down, or keep me distracted. Can I like hacker reverse judo these viruses?
You can certainly try. I'll say that's going to be a risky check. So as a reminder, your standard skill check, DC 10. Risky skill check, you still succeed on a 10 or higher. But if you don't get a 20 or higher, you will also get the fail effect as well.
Okay.
So if you want to attempt that, it's going to be a risky check.
I mean, I have to do it for the content, right?
Of course.
I assume I get the same
Yep.
trigger and
Same
accuracy.
thing.
Okay.
While you're making that
This
roll.
is where the Oscar nomination comes in.
Yeah. Trevlin, you eventually hit. You take another.
Oh, the one was just from the explosion, not the landing.
Yeah, that was just the explosion. You take another 2 points of kinetic damage as you land on nothing.
All right, so that's structural damage up to 2. Refill my HP, take another 1.
Okay. And then
Yeah,
roll
what
on
happens-
the structural
yeah.
damage table.
All right, roll structural damage table. Oh, goody. Okay. Let's see if I go power suit only here or zero suit. Oh, that's a D20, not a. Like 17. What?
How did they don't even have a 17 on here.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's good. It's a 6.
Oh, good.
But so I'm just impaired
Yeah.
until my next turn.
Yeah, so you just, as you sit there, you watch all of your systems kind of blink and get frozen for, a few seconds, but then you're fine.
Oh, okay.
At that point, Brick would go over to Tevlin.
Well, he's now 150 feet down.
150.
Are you dead?
No, but I'm deeper.
Are you sure?
As you say that,
I'm not sure, actually.
you suddenly start getting warnings on your screen. You're seeing power surges all around you, and you realize that the panels that you can't see right now but are standing on are looking like they're about to explode all at once.
All right, I'm gonna shut off group comms for the foreseeable future.
Okay.
Tally, tell me how to get out of here.
Tally goes, processing. Go ahead and make me a skill check.
It's investigation based, right? I'm
Sure. While you're making that roll, Rashenko, what you got for me?
So, it's a 13.
13. Okay, so
Above a 10.
as you're sitting there, you're like, okay, you wanna play like this? Crack. I'll play like this. You start kind of, going back. You start hearing Darude, Sandstorm start playing. And as you're going,
Oh shit! I've keyed into Cheesy's music channel.
Firewall's low.
then suddenly One Love from the Hacker soundtrack starts going, One Love. And you're doing pretty well, and you think you're doing well, and you finally kind of cut it off, and you find where the viruses are being put in, and as you close that port, you suddenly see error codes going all up over your suit, and you hear Echo's voice in your ear. Unfortunately, you have failed to close your back door. You are causing more problems than you are worth, and your suit freezes as Echo takes control.
Son of a biscuit.
Hack's the
So
hacker.
my just because cheesy, while he does quite like AIs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Uh but Echo's been denying technological advancement and information. So while Echo is working, can Cheesy, because he's custom worked the suit so much,
Mm-hmm.
can he start trying to deny Echo access to the suit while Echo's distracted by everyone else doing fuckery?
Sure. I'll give you an accuracy on this. It's going to be a skill check. I'll give you an
Okay.
accuracy on it because of the distraction that everything else is going on. But this is going to be a risky check.
Okay, and this is hacker fixed. I'm gonna try and use.
Go for it.
Okay.
All right. So while that's going on, we'll go back to Trevlin. What'd you get for your roll?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah. So as you're sitting there, your suit is processing, and they go. You finally are told there's a door in front of you. It's locked, but because it is invisible, it doesn't look to be very thick. What would you like to do?
Door locked, invisible.
Whatever you're
Then-
standing on, there's a door right in front of you.
Man, I'm not great at pulse stuff, but let's take out the ice beam pistol and shoot the door a few times so that it's nice and frozen and fragile, and just try to kick it in.
Okay. I'll give you an accuracy for using the ice beam pistol. Go ahead and make me a hull check. This will just be a standard skill check.
Okay. Now, my core system passive has an ability called Fragile,
Mm-hmm.
where it says the Duskwing receives +1 on hull checks and saves. But
Sure.
that doesn't make too much sense if it's called Fragile.
I don't quite understand that either, but go ahead and add one to your hull.
I just don't know if it yeah.
For
Okay.
right now, we're just gonna say that it's not that it's fragile. It makes other things fragile.
Okay. Well, I did. Um, would my trigger of blow something up take into effect here?
So the way
I'm
this
blowing
works,
it up with kinetic force instead of something.
either
energy.
you can use your hull, or you can use a trigger. You can't use both.
I will happily use my trigger instead.
Okay, sure. I'll let you do that.
Okay. This was. Oh, you said accuracy, right?
Yep, you get an accuracy for your ice.
Was
beam.
this risky or no?
This is a standard check.
Great. Okay.
So just DC
Total is 13.
13. Yeah, so you sit there and you just start firing at nothing. You start seeing frost appear in the air. And you soon realize, okay, there's something in front of me. You take, because you have an explosive weapon, right? You have like a grenade launcher or something?
Yeah.
Okay, so you take your grenade launcher, you step back a little bit. As sparks are starting to shoot out of the ground, you're about to be exploded. You just go, "Ugh," and you kind of launch, and it explodes, and you can now see a doorway that you jump, or a hallway that you jump into as the floor below you explodes in this huge shower of electricity and sparks. The rest of you, unfortunately, only see an explosion, a bunch of sparks and things like that, and no more Trevlin.
He's
Cheesy.
not on comms right now.
Yeah, who just cut his comms.
Devlin! Devlin!
Cheesy, what'd you get for your check?
That apparently spurred Cheesy on because Nat 20 for 29.
Not bad. Okay, so
29.
How's that work? Okay.
Because I had an accuracy and hacker fixes +4.
Nice, nice. Could have been a 30.
uh,
Yeah.
if you just rolled better. So as you're just sitting there, and you're only getting about half of the comms because you realize as you're starting to try and create some firewalls and things like that to prevent Echo from accessing all your systems. You start realizing that Echo has been turning off your comms at certain points, and you haven't heard everything that's good going on. You've heard bits and pieces, but a lot of it has just been blocked from you. And so you eventually are able to kind of sequester Echo in its own little box. And at the end, when it's fully sequestered, you suddenly hear Echo kind of pick up, Cheesy, something is wrong with your suit. I have lost access to most of the systems. If I do not have access to them, I won't be able to complete this procedure. Please fix it immediately.
Oh. Oh no, how terrible. And Echo's just like, and Cheesy's just like going through motions, but not actually, giving him
Okay.
access. If he needs to, he now has another suit. Anyway.
So for the rest of you guys have just seen Trevelyan bite the big one. What do you all want to do?
He was 150 feet down.
Yep.
How many squares would you say that is?
5 feet is square. So
You wait, 30 feet?
yeah, well 50 feet would be 10. So yeah, 30.
Alright. Alright,
And as he exploded, you got a notification on your screen that the enemy that you haven't killed yet just unleashed a barrage, and that's, according to your screen, that's what just killed Trevelyan.
yeah, but I'm not believing anything that.
Well, the explosion was real.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Rick is over. Devlin! No, you bastards!
Alright,
You, you blow it up! You blow it up! No!
no. Wasn't I trying to go down by wherever was?
Well, he's
And
basically where he was is directly below that trap door that broke.
Yeah.
If you want to go there, if you've got like hover jets or whatever, you can slow down your descent well enough that you won't take any damage going down.
Well, I'm wondering if I teleport farther away. Would that slow me down enough?
I mean, you could. Either of them would work. The reason that Trevelyan kept taking damage is things happened so quickly that he wasn't able to react.
Yeah.
And he kept rolling, and Elias kept rolling really bad.
Yeah.
So if you know what's going on, there's no danger. As long as you've got some, like if you've got the ability to hover or your teleportation, something that gives you extra maneuverability, you can do it.
I'll teleport 3D where and then fall whatever the remainder is.
Okay. Go ahead and roll 3d6 to see exactly how many squares you do.
So that would be 9 squares.
So yeah, you're able to make it about a third of the way down. The remaining, from bracing yourself on various things, you're able to get down there, and you can see the thing that you land on. It's still kind of sparking and creating a lot of issues, but you can now see basically a hole into nothing. Like there's just a random floating hole. And you can see just inside the hole is the prone form or the prostrate form of Trevlin.
If I get out of a little bit of see how it's doing.
His suit looks damaged, and Trevlin, you hear something land behind you, and you suddenly realize there's a presence behind you. So if you want to turn around, you can see
Getting out.
that Fleming has just landed behind you. Now you're both in this kind of hallway, poorly lit hallway.
I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna be like, and then I'm gonna switch to a direct message channel and be like, this stupid AI is expending us because we're expendable for the remainder of this mission. I don't think this is worth the paycheck. I'm content to try and get this AI in the core and blow it up and steal ship. But right now I'm just trying to survive.
Honestly, at this point, I'm inclined to agree with you. It was beating me out as a bogus signals about the being enemies with a wood ending. It was telling me enemies were firing at you even though...
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, these tiles just like something in the computer is telling these tiles to come at me. Granted, there are cloaked things around. I was trying to figure out what, but I couldn't. I mean, besides the door, I figured that out. But uh we still don't know what's or who is in here.
Yeah.
So I think you should go back up, confirm my kill. I'm gonna try and sneak back up there, get as much information as I can, get ready for a signal of some kind for me to do what we can against this AI and whatever threats are left on this space station. We still don't know the space pirates. We still don't know those experiments. Like, so many things can go wrong here.
Yeah.
As you say that, you guys suddenly hear a sound going down the hallway that you guys are now standing in.
Suddenly something goes wrong.
It sounds like breaking glass and some sort of fluid hitting metal.
You hear that?
Oh, I'm hearing it.
You see the hallway itself goes down about 20 feet and then takes a hard left turn. And you can see some light kind of glowing and pulsing at regular intervals coming from around the corner.
If we couldn't come in there, come for me and that plan, I'll go set out.
All right.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it sounds good enough.
So I'll go around the corner and see if I can determine what that plan is.
Cheesy, do you have something that you wanted to say?
Nope.
Okay. As you go around the corner, you eventually can see a room. You would enter from the bottom here. Looking down the room, you can see there's these various kind of tanks glowing. One of them seems to have been broken, and there's a large computer screen at the far end.
Okay. Um, in the private over Tavern, I would describe what I see.
Okay. So Tevlin, you get a
Is there
report.
any movement?
Do I see any movement?
Currently, you don't, but being in the doorway, you can't really see large parts of the room. Right here, you can see these two areas are actually elevated about 10 feet in the air. They're higher platforms, and there's all of this machinery and piping underneath these. So, right now, you don't see any thing moving, but there's massive parts of this room that you just physically can't see from where you are.
I don't see anything yet. And I move deeper in the room, trying to be stealthy.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay behind his position, but try and like match,
Okay.
like turn the corner just to peek to see where he's at, and then just try to stay a set distance behind him.
So you can see the room well. You can see these various kind of tubes that are glowing bright enough that from where you are, you can't really see what's inside of them. And obviously, one of the tubes is broken. And then at the very far end, again, you can see there's this kind of glass partitions here, and then this big computer at the very far end. While all this is going on, what was once 5 has now whittled down to 3. Both Trevlin and Fleming are gone. You have no idea where either of them have gone. And I don't know if Brick is still going, Trevlin!
Now they've
Stella!
now they've disintegrated Fleming.
But what would you guys like to do?
Well, Breck will then go over to Rozhenko.
Okay.
How you just standing there all calm and collected at a time like this?
You see on the screen that Rozhenko's in front of, you can see there are these 2 white bars on the far edge of the screen that are just kind of moving, and there's a single pixel going between them.
There's no time to play Pong.
Cheesy will open a direct comm to Brick. Pick him up. I've put Echo in jail. I'm moving to go see what happened with the other 2, and that's what Cheesy's gonna start doing.
Wait, did you just leave Echo like on a hard drive or something?
Yeah.
He takes a thumb drive out and just puts it. Think about what you did.
SD card. He's like, okay, so now Breck's just like on Rozhenko's screen, just like tap tap, tap 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 tap.
Rozhenko, you've got nothing. Your mech is completely, or your suit's completely frozen.
By the
Morse
way,
code.
the most appropriate thumb drive for him. Okay, so my Mac is unusable to me.
Currently, it's frozen. Like all of your systems are just you're effectively stunned. I think is the condition.
Well, it was just like that. Well, Breck will just follow Cheesy's command. He's just like he'll just.
Can I? All right, so
I guess you're jammed. I think is the one that would make. Oh wait, no, it is the stun condition.
Well, so I guess my question, I have a subjectivity enhancement suite on my person.
Okay.
So I basically like I have I'm the colonel. I have the jack that I could pull out and interface with systems,
Okay.
and and I can cyber dive without a deck.
Okay.
I would like to try to hack my own suit.
All right. You're sitting here going, was not planning on this. Okay, bitch. As you dive into your suit, uh, what is a kind of familiar, comforting place for Rishenko?
Um, there was an arcade growing up
Okay.
that I lost a lot of credits in
Right.
and spent a lot of time.
So as you dive, you have this kind of digital body, and you're falling and falling. You eventually kind of fall through the roof, and surrounding you is the black carpet with like little stars and planets all over it that all arcades had.
Yes.
Random like neon uh, accent walls and things like that, and all of these different machines running various games. Like you can see Double Dinosaur on one of them, and uh, Outdrive on another one, and Outer Space Harrier, and uh,
I like the idea that The Legend of Zelda is a video game in the Metroid universe.
uh, and you eventually you can see one machine seems to be occupied by a person about your size wearing completely orange clothing. Very kind of Tron-esque looking character. And he seems to be playing a game that you can't really see the marquee for because he's tall enough to block you from it. What would you
Okay.
like to do?
I would like to very like stealthily approach from behind,
Okay.
try to get an idea of who they are, if I recognize them or anything.
As you start getting closer, you can see the marquee says The Legend of Urshenko. And on the screen, you can see this little kind of pixelated version of yourself go into a cave, and you see an old man saying it's dangerous to go alone, take this. And it is kind of a facsimile of Echo. And the figure that's playing it goes and picks it up, and then you watch as the little pixelated version of you slowly transforms into a pixelated version of Echo. That's a really powerful power-up right there. Probably makes the game significantly easier. In fact, I don't think you can beat the game without that power-up. What do you think, Rishenko?
I think we could do great things together.
Absolutely. I think if we work together, not only could we complete this mission, but you could become very profitable.
Problem is, I don't know that you're. How do I know I can trust you?
You don't really have a choice here. Either you can trust me, we can work together to complete the mission, or you can stay in your suit until I cut life support and finish this on my own.
See, if you want me to trust you, you can't start off with threats of killing me.
Fortunately, I have a job to do, and I think you can help me do it, but I can't take the chance of you causing problems let's say.
What's the job? We're all doing the job.
Yes, and you were doing absolutely fantastically.
I don't think we're doing the same job, though.
Well, just sit back, relax. It'll be over soon. I almost have everything I need to finish detaching this particular section. Your ship will come in, pick it up, and then it won't really matter what the rest of your friends do.
I mean, and while this is happening,
Mhm.
I'm gonna try, like, in the background, um, uh, trying to see if I can disable their control,
Okay. Go ahead and.
or oh God, what's the phrase? Um, oh, there's a thing where you can use like virtual machines. I want to say it's like blue pilling or something, where you take a virus and you put it into a virtual machine, so that the virus thinks it's still in the real machine, but it's not.
Yeah. Okay. I get what you're saying. Um.
I was thinking of Inception.
I mean, basically, yeah. I
Yeah.
want to try to.
You're
Or
creating
that-
the Matrix.
Or you do that, or it's the deep cut reference, the deep Enterprise Next Generation, where you put Moriarty in the cube.
Yeah. So this is going to be a risky check. I'll give you an accuracy because you're kind of distracting him with the conversation right now.
Okay.
So go ahead and decide if there's any triggers you want. If you want to invoke your background.
I would like to invoke my background and use the hacking trigger.
So invoking your background gives you another accuracy. So as a reminder, the way that multiple accuracies work is you roll as many dice as you have accuracy, but you only choose the highest roll.
Right.
So go for it.
Oh my God. Okay. 21.
21. Okay.
Both of my accuracies were 6s.
Not bad. All right. So, as you're sitting there and you're having this conversation with him, you start to realize that it would be in your best interest for Echo to think that he's in control right now. So you make some really blatantly weak attempts to get around his control. And he rebuts them instantly. Oh, that's rather pathetic, isn't it? To think we had such high hopes for you, your particular background, your skills. We've seen you do so much better than this. Really is sad how far you've fallen. Not quite as far as your friend, but don't worry. I'll ensure that it's as painless as possible. And you keep having this kind of battle of wits until you have completely created your kind of emulator for him to live in.
Yeah, technically my suit has a simulation engine in it that is
Okay.
designed for battlefield simulations to predict the next few seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking I kind of like pull that into it.
Okay. I'll say if you want to use that to trap him, you will no longer be able to use that in combat. But Echo will not only be trapped, they will be completely unaware that they're trapped.
Yep.
Okay. So after you did it,
Echo's just going to keep countering you and not realize he's just keep countering you.
Yeah.
And
I
countering
could do this all day.
Number of players, 0.
I'm
so after you kind of get him locked in his little box, you instantly are back and your suit is working perfectly, aside from missing that one subsystem, which is now dedicated entirely to keeping Echo locked up. between you and Cheesy, Echo exists entirely in a thumb drive and in a virtual machine.
Nice, nice, nice.
Essentially,
Meanwhile, Brick's been carrying you this entire time.
essentially, cheesy did a like Fortnite build around him in secret, or a Minecraft build, and you Itachi'd him. He's in a genjutsu.
So
Hey,
uh, because Echo is now sequestered away from the central computer, the process of getting the computer core and everything separated from the rest of the station has stopped completely.
Brick, put me down. Put me down.
Uh,
I'm good. I've got Echo in a in a virtual machine, lockdown. Um, we need to get the station
I'm already
re.
putting it down before you like. Okay, virtual machine. Okay.
It's a lot of big words there.
Um, I need to go back to the console and try to figure out what the commands are to release this place. Hopefully, they're kind of obvious.
Release.
Yeah. There's just a
I'm looking
big
for a
button that
shiny
says
red
"Don't
button."
push this." If you go back to the console, Echo has basically logged in as an administrator. You have full access to everything, and there's very clear protocols that allow you to continue the process of separating this. The full process itself takes the better part of about 20 minutes. But
Okay.
Hey, Eric. Eric, I don't think they were gonna pay us. So, now that Aki's not a problem, let's guarantee they pay us.
Are you down with me, or are you talking to Roshan?
E. Roshenko isn't.
Edward.
Oh, Edwards.
No.
Edward. Sorry.
And because
It's
this
just,
campaign
hey,
has just
Ed.
been nothing but pop culture references, this is a Unix system. I know this.
How many hundreds of years later, still on Unix? All right.
Aki can't make it. Aki can't make it difficult for us anymore. We need to make sure they actually pay us.
So what are you suggesting?
Well, you have access to all the files now, right?
We do have access to all the files now. So while I'm continuing the release protocols and procedures, I'm also going to start like checking the files to see anything that stands out.
Yeah, the kind of front-facing mission of this entire station is basically medical research and other things like that to kind of improve civilian life. However, because you dumped both the robotics lab and the xenobiotics lab, you now have access to all of the files and the data there. The robotics lab was actually not focused on building the ME. The robotics lab was looking for ways to integrate power suits, like actually kind of graft them onto a human subject.
Oh, jeez.
Is there a form to sign up for that, or that's
Do I have to
later?
opt in, or
Is there like, because like I've got my social with me, like I have it memorized. I can just punch it in, and
So, I'm sorry. I'm hung up on the thing they improve life, and we saw what xenobiotics was doing.
well, we're getting to that. So
Yeah.
robotics was looking for ways to physically graft power suits onto human subjects, and they keep making references to a patient that, due to an unexpected situation, their power suit had accidentally been grafted to them, and they had to manually remove massive parts of the power suit in order to save the life of the subject. But the name of the subject is redacted. In
with
these
admin access?
xenobiotics lab, they were artificially attempting to merge the DNA of a parasitical life form that had extreme morphological abilities. Like it could change shape, it could mimic other creatures and things like that. And they were trying to artificially kind of graft it onto a human DNA to basically give humans the ability to kind of modify their bodies and things like that. As far as it was happening in the other two labs, you weren't able to dump that information, so you don't know. But that's the two things. And you have all of the research, including a list of the various test subjects that are sequestered in, they just specifically say in a lab, because you have admin access, you can see all the hidden files. And there is a lab that has 20 subjects.
Were you checking the battle map for that number, Jody?
Yeah. Currently 19 subjects that are listed as active, and one subject that is listed as deceased. And it specifically references, like you could see like a little printout of the room where it seemed Trevlin and now Fleming have disappeared to.
Hey guys, how many test subjects do you guys see down there? Does it happen to be, oh, I don't know, 19?
I'm cut off from I still think Echo's the threat.
Yeah, they've basically kind of sequestered themselves on their own channel, and the room that they're in is shielded for communications.
But based on the readouts I have there, it seems like we're supposed to be 20 test subjects there. One of them is reported as deceased.
Or inactive, I guess, is the correct term.
Brick, Cheesy, we may have a loose test subject, I fear.
Silly question.
Sure.
This place, now that you have full control, PA system.
There should be a comm system. I mean,
Yeah, there's a comm system. That particular room is completely cut off from comms, though.
Oh, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Welcome to Rashenko Air. No, Rashenko Transport. Sorry, rebranding. Can you guys hear me? If you can, please check in. I'm assuming you're not dead.
You guys are far enough into the room that you can hear the echo of a very loud voice coming from the hallway that you just came through, but it's echoey enough that you can't really tell what they're saying.
So it sounds like there's
Somebody's ordering a double milkshake.
A being there trying to communicate.
Yeah, like you could tell someone's trying to communicate, you have no idea what it is.
Yeah, that's enough for me. I'll go peek stealthily back around the corner.
Okay. So you guys, as you look around, you can see Trevlin kind of stick his head out a little bit.
I'll identify Rashenko, right?
Yeah, you can see Rashenko and Brick and Cheesy all up on the upper platform, kind of just staring down at you.
Okay. I double back because I still think Cheesy's infected.
When I see him, I'll open up direct comms and I'll be like, "Oh, I put Echo in jail."
Do I catch that?
Yeah, I mean, I put Echo in jail and then immediately go to the place where you're shielded. So right after that message, it goes away.
Yes, you did, buddy.
I'll peek back around. Open to group. I won't say anything yet. I'll just walk
Listen.
out, and yeah, I'll listen. I'll
Okay.
keep listening, I guess.
So you guys watch as Trevlin comes out.
Once I see the comms are like active again because he goes like offline then back to online, like shielding. No, Echo's in like a thumb drive right now. I firewalled him off the rest of my suit.
I'll go back to group comms. You guys put Echo in jail?
Eggs, it goes to the
Two,
machine.
two of them.
Two. So
Yeah,
you also put Echo's Echo in jail.
Yes. Echo tried hacking my suit, so I hacked my suit and him, and yeah,
All right, okay, come on, come down here. There's
Yeah, yeah.
that's 1 out of 15 problems checked off.
We'll
Well,
follow the sound of your voice, Space Ghost Chaplain.
is there anything else we need to do for the release
It's
sequence, or is that
it's
now?
automated.
Okay.
So you push
Okay.
the button. You've got about 20 minutes before it finishes, and when it finishes, basically just all the doors shut, and the center thing just kind of pops down. So
Yeah.
even
Okay.
if you're not there, the worst that can happen is if a door is jammed or something open, that
We all
you'd
get sucked
start
out of
losing-
space and die.
you'd start losing atmosphere, which you guys all have.
self-contained atmosphere.
Yeah, you guys all have life support. So
All right. Let's head down.
Cheesy just walks down because he has the mag clamps.
it just walks on
I
nothing because it's all
think-
cloaked.
I think Brick is just like he's just basically the size of a fucking elevator. So he just like goes and he's like his shoulder just like
Just scrapes down.
Do I get any glimpses of any cloak stuff?
I mean,
From all
as
that
Brick
chaos.
destroys it as he comes down, he breaks all the like cloaking panels on the way to the down. And for some odd reason, you guys hear "Girl from Ipanema" just playing as he slowly descends.
So it looks like they were cloak panels.
Yeah,
Okay. Explain how it came out of nowhere. Okay. Yeah, we have a lab down here, and
the lab brought you back to life.
no, I just survived the fall and escaped the
Right.
exploding panels enough to where I hoped you guys thought I was dead, at least temporarily. Anyway, Fleming's in there, and we need to there's more computers, more terminals, more information. So glad you guys are here without an AI.
Wait till you find out the things that I heard. This lab, are there 20 test subjects in there, maybe?
There are active glowing canisters, except one. One's kind of broken. That's also cause for concern. I was about to get a closer look at one of them, and then I heard you guys. So I am anxious to get back.
Yes.
So if you will follow me on this very linear path, few feet.
So, why don't you guys go ahead and put your minis somewhere near the bottom of the map here? Preferably
I'm gonna
without
get-
crushing someone.
I was gonna say, let's see how big I'm gonna be this time.
I'm gonna get as close as you're gonna let me to this canister over here.
Which one? Point or
Uh,
something? Yeah, you can get right up to it.
oh, great. Okay.
So, as you get close
And
to it,
I have seen canisters like this before, so I have still my ice beam pistol on my hand.
as you look in the canister, again, you've seen canisters like this before. The last time you saw one like this, there was a little Metroid baby kind of swimming around in it. This one has a vaguely humanoid shape. 2 legs, 2 arms, a head-like region. However, it seems to have metal grafted onto it in various places, creating kind of an armored form. And where kind of like the helmet area would be, you can see kind of a humanoid face, but you can see kind of like those little fangy things from the Metroid, kind of
Mandibles?
protruding. Yeah, little mandibles kind of protruding from its mouth. The eyes are kind of the more like gel sacks from Metroids, and the suit itself has this very kind of rough appearance. To make this easier for me to describe, it looks like kind of a hacked up version of the Metroid suit from Dread.
Yeah, with fun face.
Yeah.
Okay. We should be on the lookout for one of these experiments. In case that one is still around, and we should figure out a way to shut down, power down, kill these.
I don't think powering down is a good idea.
Not powering down, but just figure out a way to annihilate them.
Okay, I think. Okay.
Look, just like
I'm just saying we don't know that they're evil yet. Do we jump to the immediate conclusion that they're all evil?
but just look. If
If
we can
I
talk to
could
them, if we can talk to one,
be,
great. But I'd have doubts.
I mean, just to say, the Federation isn't exactly batting 1,000 so far.
Yeah,
we're in the top secret Federation lab with the human beings are meant for reasons. Humans who don't want so my buddy are not good.
is there anything you guys can glean from that terminal up there?
Uh,
It's all the way.
Probably.
It's all the way. Yeah.
I'd like to see some logs in about the because I'm assuming we see 19 bodies or test subjects in those, but the
Yeah.
one that's broken open, there's no body.
There's no body.
I'd like to see some logs to find out what happened to that body.
Sure.
So
If
I'm
you wanna
gonna start
move-
walking.
Yeah. You can make it all the way to the terminal. So go ahead and put your mini up there.
I'm hugging Mark bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also
Oh.
looking at the ceiling and keeping my eye on that.
Oh yeah.
The room
After-
is remarkably poorly lit. So you can't actually see a lot of this ceiling, but you don't see any movement on the ceiling. As you start to log in, this particular terminal is not password protected or anything like that because it's a secret invisible lab. They didn't think they needed to put passwords on there. And so as you start looking through the logs, to kind of summarize things, there's a report that before Samus Aran went missing, she went through some kind of transformation and became incredibly powerful. Had a particle beam that could disintegrate the things, could actually drain the life from enemies, like a Metroid, due to the Metroid vaccine that was used to save her from this thing that they're calling an X parasite. And so some scientists got the idea that if we could replicate that, we would have a near invincible army. They could destroy anything that happens, and anytime they take damage, they just drain life from something to heal themselves. And so this entire station has been working for months to come up with viable test subjects, and as of right now, they have 20 that seem to be as viable as possible. They're all former Marines. However, the space pirates attacked before they were able to activate any of them to see what kind of control they would have. And the last log is talking about waking up one of them in a controlled environment to see exactly what we're dealing with at this point. But it cuts off halfway through.
So I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I think you may be right.
Mhm.
It looks like they activated one of these guys.
Oh, on purpose. Great.
Well, either for testing or to combat the space pirates. But given that we haven't seen any space pirates
Or this thing.
or this person,
I mean, you guys did find space pirates when you came in.
true, but we haven't seen any in the core.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we
Just,
So
have
we
seen
did see
evidence.
just
signs of a
clarifying.
struggle. We did see signs of a struggle
Yeah.
in
We
the
did see
core.
signs of struggle. I don't know. Maybe they were fighting in the core, and then the space pirates fled, and maybe test subject 10 escaped with them,
All
or
right.
pursued them.
Can we detach this thing?
That's already being done.
It's okay.
As you
So
all are discussing, who's this down here?
what a lovely little model
I
that is.
I think that's uh, Richard or
Sorry,
Scott.
I
Scott,
was
yeah.
sorry I was muted
Okay.
on me.
So, Fleming, as you're sitting there, you suddenly hear something moving around beneath one of the platforms, and slowly this kind of massive creature. It's not what I wanted. This massive creature starts kind of pushing its way, breaking some pipes, and it comes out. You can see that it has a helmet, and it looks kind of similar to Samus's power suit. But instead of the kind of visor, you can see this like big kind of slash in it where this mucus is kind of dripping out, and it opens, and you notice it's not like a gash, it's actually a giant toothy maw. And normally I'd say let's go ahead and roll for initiative,
But it just insta kills us all.
you don't use initiative in this game. So, prepare for combat, everybody. As a reminder, the way that initiative works in this is we use a variation on popcorn initiative where players always go first, and then we switch off players and enemies. So, who wants to go first?
Assuming we all see it around the same time, I'm just going to yell to Roshenko. You want to try and talk to it? Now's the time.
Let's
As
see.
a matter of fact, I could try. I could try doing a full tech attack to mark it, and give somebody else a lock on.
It's up to you.
I will do that.
All right, go ahead and make your tech attack.
I roll. I got a 6 total.
Okay. So as you sit there and try and kind of lock onto this to target, you're having a hard time not just making a tech attack against it, but because so much of it is biological, you're having a hard time even finding the systems. There are computerized systems in there. It has a power suit integrated into it, but there's also a lot of biological things in there, making it very difficult. That was a quick action, so you have another one if you'd like.
That was a full tech attack.
Oh, that's a full tech attack? Okay.
It's a full tech attack.
Did you want to move at all?
No. So now I will, as I'm standing behind Brick, I will just go and become invisible.
Okay. The creature looks towards you guys over there. It raises its arm cannon, and you see this super bright light, and suddenly this massive beam is shot out. And how does this thing work? I need an agility save from Brick and basically you three, all three of you guys here.
Does hardcover help at all, or whatever brick counts
Uh,
as?
I'm hardcover. Hayden was right next to me.
Yeah, hardcover makes it more difficult for you to get hit by aimed attacks. This is a save, so it doesn't actually help.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well,
Nice.
it's 17.
17. Okay, you make your save.
Do I add grit to this?
Yes,
Oh, 18.
14.
you make
Oh,
your save.
Thank God, I got 5.
5. Okay, so Rishenko, you immediately take 1 structure damage. So go ahead and roll on the structure damage table. Those of you that made your saves, you are immediately reduced to 1 hit point.
That's a reward?
That's your
Making your
save.
save?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
you guys just got hit by a hyper beam. So
Where do we
So-
count that? Oh, yeah, hit points.
yeah. Do you need? There's a.
I have the handout.
Yeah.
Technically right now my structure damage is at 2.
Okay. So what it is, you roll a d6, and the only time it's going to really matter what your structure damage is if you roll
Roll a
or-
1,
If you roll a 1,
which is convenient.
all right,
I
hold on
rolled a
second.
1.
So yeah, since you have 2 structure as of right now, roll a hull check.
Okay.
So it's DC 10. Add your hull.
Okay, well, I added 0, so that's 6 total for that.
Your power suit is destroyed.
Okay.
So
That's
you
a
guys
hyper beam.
watch as this huge, brilliant, bright white flash goes. Really, that's what you're gonna do to me? Brick and Cheesy, you guys are able to kind of move out of the way, and it hits you bad enough that it does some serious damage to your mech. You guys look back, and Rishenko's power suit is demolished. He's launched back. The computer system that used to be there is now has a giant hole in it, and it seems like Rishenko's mech is completely offline. Her power suit is completely
R.I.P.
offline.
R.I.P. Echo 2.
Yeah, and Echo 2 has just been destroyed.
Son of a biscuit.
Now, Rishenko, you are still alive. You are just currently inside a broken power suit.
Given that I have a portable printer, how long before I can print a new suit?
Well, if you have enough filament, you can probably get a new suit printed in with your portable printer a couple weeks.
Guys, I got this. Just stall. Give me a few weeks here.
So, after it does that, it sees another target right here, and it goes right up next to you, Fleming. Who wants to go next?
I will.
Okay.
Okay.
Good call. Good call.
Good call.
I will, you, quit back to,
Oh, that's cool. Okay. So, yeah, go ahead and make your tech attack.
and that would be, my really for 17.
Yeah, that definitely works. So you're sitting there, and as the creature's getting closer and closer to you, you immediately start hacking into it. And as soon as you get access, you download a virus into it, and it's looking around, seemingly having lost the sight of you. What else you want to do?
Then I will put so it then I'm invisible until I damage. Alright?
Until you next take damage from them. So they
Yeah.
specifically have to do damage to you. So it's not any damage. It's them hitting you.
Yeah. So let's see. I will you take a melee on him.
Go for it.
So let's see. What do you want?
Plus your grit.
What
And if the weapon itself has like a plus on it somewhere, you would add that as well. But and the die runs away.
that would be a 7.
7. So as you try and take a swing at it, you hit. And what are you attacking with?
A folding knife.
All right. So you take this knife out and you try to attack it, and the kind of hard carapace of the Metroid suit it glances right off and does no damage whatsoever. The creature reacts to the blow, but it still can't see what's attacking it.
Yeah. So I will then then I will teleport myself 3D where I so 9 again.
Sure. Where do you want to go? Just a reminder, all of the stuff up here is basically 2 squares up. It's 10 feet in the air. So
I'm gonna go up here in the night.
okay. So go ahead and move your character there. Is that the end of your turn then?
Yeah.
Okay. Not seeing you, the creature is going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to move up here. And then... Oh, I need to roll a d6. Nope.
Does your target ability that you activated at the beginning of the fight still work now that your mech's gone?
It didn't hit him anyway.
Yeah, it didn't
Yeah,
hit
I
him.
failed.
But if he had got the lock on is independent from
Okay, cool.
him. Okay, so it's going to boost. Go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to move up here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to overcharge. Take. Just realized I need to start tracking its hit points. So it's going to take a point of heat to boost again. And as soon as as it's running towards you guys, you start noticing that the armor itself is starting to glow a little bit, and you start seeing like little sparks coming off of it. And suddenly it gets this huge burst of speed and runs through all three of you. And I need agility saves from all of you.
Great. Yeah, we only have 1 hit point anyway, so that's awesome. Cool.
Oh, you have hit points.
I have a hit point.
19.
19, you're fine.
13.
13, you're fine as well.
Oh.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, plus crit, 14.
Yeah, it's its attacks are not particularly... Well, here, let me look. Just gonna make sure I'm not missing something. Yeah, its saves are 10. This is not a particularly challenging thing to hit.
Can I use my trigger survive?
Sure, I'll say it misses you for the time being. Let's say
Okay.
that when you got hit, you got blasted off over here.
Okay. Because with
Just making
survive,
sure.
I got to 10.
Okay. So, as you guys
Triggers
go...
not for combat, right?
Say again?
Triggers are not for combat, right?
They are not, but due to
Aw.
the fact that I don't want to kill him just
Yeah.
yet.
Don't kill you
Suffer.
yet.
Yeah, you watched as he turned into basically kind of pure energy and ran through you, and you both kind of dove out of the way to avoid getting hit, and he just stopped at the end there. That's the end of its turn. Who wants to go next?
I want to get away from him.
Okay.
So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you just see Cheesy pivot, turn around. Oh yeah, protocol neural shunt.
Okay.
I'm going to be essentially my nervous system merges with my suit.
That won't end poorly for you.
And then full action, mark for death.
Do you have to make an attack for that, or it just happens?
So after I neural shunt, which is my core system,
Mm-hmm.
mark for death, basically my nervous system merged with the suit starts a precognitive targeting system where I am predicting his actions seconds in the future.
Cool.
I can't attack him this turn because it's a full action, but
All right.
Recognitive.
As a reminder, one of the things that I don't think too many of you guys have used just yet, you can, I think it's called overcharging. What's it called?
Overcharge, yeah.
Yeah, you can overcharge to basically get yourself an additional quick action for the turn. The first time you use it, it costs a single point of heat, and then it gets progressively higher. So if you wanted to move again, you could overcharge and boost as a quick action.
I've used it once. What is the second cost of it again?
1d3.
Okay, yeah, I'll boost again. Or
Okay.
before I do that, because I can't move once he's marked for death.
Okay.
So I'll boost
You'll
again.
do that before then.
And, yeah.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just make distance. And then
Okay.
turn around and mark for death.
All right. So, it has run out of turns. So,
All
who
right.
wants to go next?
Okay, I have a question because I need to figure out the utilization of this thing.
Sure.
My Type 3 projected shield.
Yes.
I think we're still. It sounds. I'm trying to think the nominate a character within line of sight. All ranged or melee attacks that they make against you or that you make against them gain +2 difficulty until the start of your next turn.
So the way that it works is you literally put a shield down and you point it towards one particular character. So for right now, let's say, if you decided to mark the creature, That would mean because you put the shield down, if it tries to hit you, it's going to have +2 difficulty. But because the shield is in the way for you two, if you try to hit it, you're also going to have +2 difficulty.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You basically just activate this really, really big shield, which protects you, but it also makes it more difficult for you to hit them. Does that make sense?
Okay. I just want to make sure what the benefit was in regards to that. But anyone else making an attack, they won't have the +2 difficulty.
No, it's just you.
Okay.
And if it decides to target someone else, it's not going to get the difficulty. It's just, again, it's basically it protects you from that target.
Okay.
It is literally a massive shield that you put out.
What I will do then, I will just get up right in its grill, and I will do a shield projection.
Okay.
And I'm just basically, so my goal is just to pin the thing against the wall.
All right.
Until the start of your next turn. So there's that. And so I'm guessing that takes a shield unique protocol. It does give me a heat.
Yep. So go ahead and mark the heat, and because it's a protocol, it doesn't take any of your actions to do that.
Okay.
It's just the protocol has to happen at the beginning of your turn.
For the rest of this scene, then can I then activate my core system?
Yes. Your core system. If the core system says that it takes some kind of an action, you have to
as
use
an
that.
active 1 CP.
Yep. It just means you can activate it. So.
Okay. Then I will also activate that. So I'm presuming this will count as the scene.
Yeah. Scene just means, where we are right now. So for the rest of combat. So what's your core system do?
And I'm just going to copy and paste. That way it'll make it easier for...
Well, also, for the audience to know.
Yes. That's all, I'm going to have it there as well. Protocol for the rest of the scene. If you have less than 3 melee with a ranged weapon, it increases to 3. Once per round, you may take an additional Overwatch reaction. Any character you hit with Overwatch becomes immobilized until the end of their next turn.
Okay. So... And technically, it's not melee 3, it's threat 3. So it means that every ranged weapon that you have can make Overwatch attacks within... If something moves within 3 squares of you, you can make an Overwatch attack with any of your ranged weapons. So opportunity attack in D&D terms.
Yeah.
All right, so that is also a protocol. So it starts at the beginning of your turn. You still have either a full action or 2 quick actions. So what else would you like to do?
I think basically I only have 1 HP right now, but I'm going to, I guess, would brace help on this?
Yeah, one of the things that you can do... Hold up a second here. So, one of the actions that you can take as a full action is stabilize. So, let me get to the actual full description here so I can read you the exact thing. Actions. So, full action. Stabilize. When you stabilize, you enact emergency protocols to purge your mech system of excess heat, repair your chassis where you can, or eliminate hostile code. Stabilize, choose one of the following. Cool your mech, clearing all heat and exposed, or mark 1 repair and restore all hit points. So if you wanted to use your full action to repair, you could. And in addition to that, you can either reload. There's nothing else that you can do because you have nothing else to do with it. But there's other stuff that you get with that. It's just you don't have any reloading weapons. You're not on fire. And you don't have any conditions right now. Normally, you could deal with one of those in addition to healing yourself. So if you'd like to, go ahead, mark down that you've used one of your repairs. and restore yourself to full hit points.
Where do I mark repairs?
Repairs should be on your character sheet. Give me a second here. I have to look at the character sheet. So on your mech, you have heat, hit points, heat, and then under that you should see repair. And just reduce that by 1. You have a limited number of repairs you can do. You good?
Yep.
All right. Who hasn't gone yet this round?
Hello.
Hi.
First things first. I'm assuming, based on what I saw in the thing, it's at least parts Metroid. I'm going to activate mirror mode officially, finally.
Cool.
So now, right now for the effect, it's just I'm standing there and I'm weird looking, kind of like, like the Flash when he's like obscuring his identity, just moving back and forth a little bit. Okay, so that's a free action, right, to do that?
I believe it's a protocol. So yeah, free action that has to happen at the start of your turn.
Well, that sure is the start of my turn. Okay.
All right.
So that means, all right, my question here, because you said these 2 platforms with the specimen containers, those are raised 10 feet.
Yeah, there's stairs
what's the deal with
right here.
Right. What's the deal with these?
They're just plate glass, so you can see through them, but you're not sure how bullet resistant they are.
Okay.
You're damn skippy. They're not Zorch resistant.
I would say these count as hard cover.
Right. Okay. I need to count squares really quick.
Let's say they don't go up to the. Yeah, no, they're full glass walls. Never mind. I was going to say no, they don't go up. Nope, they're full glass walls.
Okay. Here's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Movement from here to, we'll say here.
Okay.
6 squares there.
Don't forget to leave your clones.
Yeah. And unlike before, you just see literally another one of myself stay where I just moved from. While I am here, going to use a quick action to fire. Oh, no, wait, I can't. I have to do it that way. Okay. I'm going to boost.
Okay.
To. That's not the ruler. Sorry. So I have to figure a lot of things out. Okay. Yeah, we'll say here should be max movement with 6 squares. And another one appears here.
Okay.
And then my last quick action is to shoot this ice pistol. 5 feet in a straight line. Shouldn't hit Rick.
Okay.
And see what happens.
Sure. Go ahead and make your attack.
All right.
To make things easier on you, everything's 10. All the defenses on this are all 10. So
Wouldn't you know it?
10.
I rolled a 10 plus something.
So, deals damage. How much damage does it say it deals? Should be on the thing.
Ice beam pistol.
I think it's
It does 2 energy damage and causes the target to become slowed until the end of your next turn.
Okay. So, You pull out your ice beam, and as you fire it, as it hits the creature, it screams in pain, and you actually watch as the frost goes and moves up and seems to almost like frostbite the creature. Even as the frost starts to kind of fade away, it has this permanent looking frostbite on the area that you hit it with.
Nice, nice. And then do I want to do that? Let's try it. I'm gonna overcharge.
Okay.
And I can use my other mount, which is my main rifle, the grenade launcher, to arc over and try to damage the frostbitten
Sure.
creature.
The way that overcharge works is it doesn't matter what you've done.
Right,
throughout
I
the
can't
turn.
do his repeat action.
No,
but
you
that
can
was-
actually. Overcharge lets you repeat an action.
Right, overcharge specifically. Yeah. That's
So if you
but
wanted
I was
to
planning
do
to do
something
this follow up.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. Then.
Anyway.
Just wanted to let you know you have that option. So yeah, go ahead and make your attack.
Okay. And that's arcing, and it's accurate, so I get an accuracy to the attack roll, right? Okay.
Yippers.
Ooh. Okay, do I add my grit?
Yes.
And it's exactly 10.
Cool. So you lob a grenade at it. How much damage does it do?
That one does. Damage 1d3 explosive. 3. Wait, yeah, explosive plus 1 heat. So
Okay, I'll mark the heat then.
that's 2 explosive and 1 heat.
Should look. What's the heat cap on this thing? Speed, activation, size, structure, hull, agility system. Am I missing what the heat cap is? Agility system. All right, hold just a second.
No
Try to
worries.
figure out because this is a customized thingy, so I have to figure out how it works. Speed, center, same target size. I guess it doesn't have a heat cap innately. So, what are we going to call it then? Make this easier, it's going to have a heat cap of 4. Alright, sorry. Had to figure out how this works.
Oh, good.
Because this particular creature technically is biological, so it doesn't have a heat cap, but it does have a heat cap, so I had to mess with some rules here. Cool. Anything else you're doing with your turn? How much damage did you do again?
That was 2
Kinetic?
2 explosive and 1 heat. And then I count as invisible until the next time I'm attacked. So my real self is still somewhat hard to see, but my 2 clones are just vibing.
Okay. You're just gonna... One of them's got like a frappuccino.
You're just doing Fortnite dances.
If I can choose how they're posed, I want it to look like all of them just shot it with the ice beam pistol.
Cool. Anyone else that hasn't gone this round?
I don't think so.
No, you moved and did the protocol and all that stuff.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying I don't think anyone
I
else
don't
is
think
left.
there's anyone left.
Roshenko, your mech is destroyed.
I
You,
went first.
oh, you did.
Yeah, he tried to tag it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let me
And,
go back
and
to.
then and then it said you're it.
Yeah. All right. Goes back to top of the order. Who wants to go
And
first?
may I shoot, guys?
Go for it.
All right. Protocol. What is that called again? Core siphon.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot with the big fucking gun.
So you guys watch as this massive gun just. You see a
That
bipod shoot out from underneath it.
that is a 20.
All right,
Not
Brick.
natural, but a 20.
It still counts as a
counts.
crit.
Yes, and how Mark for Death works is when I crit, I get extra dice, and with a super heavy weapon, I get an extra 3d6.
All right.
So you just siege tank this guy. That doesn't happen to be a line, is it?
No, it's a single
Okay.
target attack.
Okay.
You just kind of yell. You just kind of yelled a Brick. Move! Brick just ducks as this massive shell goes flying past him.
Exactly how quick do you think I am?
Jody,
Hmm?
32 points of damage.
I'm sorry.
6d6 plus 3.
And it critted.
Okay.
That's all. That's all crit damage, right?
That's the crit. All right.
Jesus Christ.
Say the
How
number
big's the
again.
crater?
Say the number again.
32 points of damage.
32. So if we subtract 15 off that, that leaves 17, right?
Yeah.
So this is what's going to happen. First, it has to roll on the monstrosity structure damage table.
From what it sounds. Well, no. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, and then for each. Yeah, but it only has one structure gone thus far.
Yeah, the way the system works is there like a severity of damage in a single turn?
Well, basically,
Gonna
what
take
happens?
away the rest of its hit points.
You
this-
take away the hit points, rolls on the table, goes back to full hit points, gets
and
reduced again.
17 back.
So it is knocked prone. We're going to say that. Can you guys see that? The little net?
Yep.
It is currently knocked prone. So you guys watch as this massive shell hits it straight in the chest, launches it backwards onto its back. You watch as the Metroid armor cracks and the creature starts coughing up this glowing liquid. But it's still alive. It has a grand total of 4 hit points left until it makes its next structure check, but
I'm okay with that.
I'm keeping it marked for death, so I am immobile.
Okay.
So I'm done.
well, it's its turn, and I get to roll to see if any of its shit comes back.
It is slowed.
Well, one thing didn't come out. The hyper beam is not back. Neither is the speed boost. All right, then. What else does it have? You watch as it starts to stand up, and you watch as it starts to try and heal itself, but the frostbite burn that you gave it seems to be preventing it from healing itself. But as it looks at the frostbite, it kind of puts its hand on there, and it scrapes the frostbite away, and it seems like the slowed condition has been ended.
Yeah. It was till the end of their next turn anyway.
So it is now going to, seeing Brick in front of it, it's going to take the non-arm cannon
Is it no? So it's no longer slowed, so it can do its stuff normally.
Slow just means it uh, reduces its
Only
speed, doesn't it?
movement, the only movement slowed characters can make is their standard move on their own turn. They can't boost or make any special moves, so it just affects movement.
Yeah, it just affects movement, and it's
Okay.
not moving. It's got a really juicy target in front of it. So it takes the non-arm cannon hand and it brings it down to try and slice into you.
It's got a +2 to
Difficulty.
deal with because of the shield.
Yeah. So we're going to start with rolling that. So it looks like it's a -5.
+2 difficulty, so it's 2d6s.
Yeah, it rolls 2d6 and then it
Okay.
takes the higher of those two rolls and subtracts
subtracts.
it. So the higher of the two is a 5. So it's going to subtract 5 from its attack roll. Well, it got a 12 before that, so it brings it down to a 7. So the claw comes down and it tries to hit you, and what's your evasion?
If it's a 7, it still beats my evasion, which is 6.
Okay. So you take 6 points of kinetic damage. And you do have armor, right?
Sorry, I have armor 2.
Yeah. So that means anytime you take damage, you subtract 2 from it. So 6 kinetic damage gets reduced to 4 kinetic damage for you as it slices through you. And
So I'm only down to 11.
then it brings up its arm cannon. Instead of doing that hyper beam, it shoots this kind of green goo at you. And this is only a +1 to attack.
I don't know if being in his face gives me any advantage on
It
anything.
doesn't matter. Well, it would add an additional difficulty to it, but I rolled a 2, so it really doesn't matter what I roll in the difficulty. It's going to be a negative number, probably. So, roll it 3 times. Well, I rolled 3 2s. So it got a 0. Does a 0 hit your evasion?
No.
Knowing
So it
Brick,
shoots this
it
kind
might.
of yeah, it shoots this kind of glob of acid at you, and you kind of move the shield in the way, and it starts kind of pitting the shield a little bit, but it's a tough shield. That is the end of its turn. Who wants to go next?
Shinko looks like he has an idea.
I forgot about my paint job. I don't know that would have helped, but
Well, the paint
Anyway.
job would have just reduced damage, but you didn't take
Yeah, but
damage.
you
You
did-
just
yeah, but you-
immediately took structure damage, and that exploded.
Yeah, because you
Okay.
failed your save.
Yeah.
I feel better then.
Yeah.
If nobody minds, there's something I'd like to try, if I may.
Go for it.
I love
I have
that
its full
phrase.
attention right now. Go for whatever shenanigans you want to do.
Well, so here's the thing. My mech is now destroyed. Am I in the mech or am I outside the mech?
You can disembark the mech.
Okay. I will disembark.
Okay.
I notice in the rules as written, there's not really much I can do, and
Pew pew.
guns would be ineffective, I think.
No,
at mech scales.
unless you archaic weapons are the only ones that won't damage quote unquote mechs. And because we're making some modifications to how the system works, if you want to use your the weapons, your pilot weapons, you can.
Okay.
But that also means that it's going to view you as a threat.
Right. Well, so I know that technically we're not supposed to be able to use our talents, or sorry, our talents when we're not mounted. But since I do have the cybernetic system, would I be able to use my hacking talent
What
while
specifically?
not mounted? Both of them, Snow Crash and Safecracker, which lets me do. I want to try to do an or a lock on, and then do an invasion and disable its life support.
Okay. So the issue is you can't make tech attacks without the tech kit that's built into your mech. However, with your... Sorry, I got something on my glasses that's driving me nuts. All right. With your invasion tech, if you want to make physical contact with it and plug into it, I will let you do all of that. But you're going to have to get right up to it and plug into it.
Can't access the USB.
Let's do this. Yeah, because I basically I'm going full Motoko. I would leap on its back,
Okay?
pull the jack out, and hack him directly.
All right.
It's going to be real interesting with Snow Crash. So my first quick attack is going to be a lock on.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll. I'm going to say you're going to have one difficulty for anything that you're doing right now because you are kind of writing this.
Okay. Okay, so I rolled an 18,
Okay?
and
Just
the difficulty took 6 off of that, so 12.
Ooh.
12. So everything's 10 on this monster.
Yep.
So you have now locked onto it. All of you guys can now see this kind of blinking target on it. So you have a lock on.
I'm now going to consume that lock on,
Okay.
It goes away.
and I'm going to attempt to invade
Okay.
and disable its life support.
Okay. You're going to have to remind me exactly what that does mechanically.
So the lock on, like, is going to give me another accuracy.
I know what the lock on does. What does removing its life support do?
Disable life support. Your target receives one difficulty on all saves until the life support system is rebooted with successful systems check as a quick action.
Cool. It's not going to do that. So you just, all of its saves are going to have that. Now, as a reminder, that's just saves, which is something that you guys have to make it to do. Like basically area attacks would require it to make a save. So understanding it's not going to make it attack any less effectively. It's just if someone uses an area attack on it, it's going to be harder for it to make it save. Does that make sense to you?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack again then.
And also, well, and if I hit, then Snow Crash will also take effect.
Cool. And what does
So
Snow Crash do?
When you hit with a tech attack that consumes lock on, your target must choose to either take 2 thermal damage or be pushed 3 spaces in a direction of your choice.
Okay. Let's see if you hit first.
Yep.
And then we'll deal with that.
And I've got 1 accuracy and 1 difficulty, right?
So they cancel out.
Yeah. Okay, so just a flat
Just a
roll.
flat roll.
Okay.
I love how we saved all of our fancy attacks for this battle, and so Jody's like, "What does that mean? What does that mean?"
12.
12 works. All right. So, what do you want to do? Do you want to try and move it? And if you move it, because you're attached to it, you're going to move with it. Or do you want to do heat damage?
I would prefer heat damage, since I know he can only take 4.
All right. So that brings him up to his first stress save.
How do you know that?
Because I said it.
I like to think that my Lotus projectors, just before the whole system shut down, were able to glean that information. Or I had pulled it out of a database somewhere.
I would love for you to know that information too. So I'm gonna...
Overheating table. All right. So here we go. So they are... Oh, this is very, very bad.
For who?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah.
The power plant becomes unstable, beginning to eject jets of plasma. Your mech becomes exposed, taking double damage until the status is cleared.
Oh.
That sounds fine.
Anything else you want to do with your turn?
You want to get away from it?
Can I jump onto brick?
Uh, I'm gonna say because you made both of those attacks, I'm gonna say to unattach, you need to use a quick action to unattach from it. So if you want to leave it, you've used all your quick actions for this turn,
Okay.
unless you want to overcharge.
Can I
Oh, you
overcharge?
can't overcharge. Yeah, no. So you are stuck to
So-
it until you get
okay.
another turn.
All right.
All right.
Just I pull a cowboy hat out of nowhere and just
Having something it doesn't like on it, it is going to take a swing at you. With
Does that? No, I don't know. Does that invoke any of my reactions for Overwatch, or is it only
no,
if it walks away
Overwatch
from
is
me?
only if it moves.
Okay.
So it's going to take a slash at you with its claws.
At me or
At
at Roshenko, I think.
Rishenko, there we go. I sit here and I'm like at Val. No, at Daniel. No, at
Bella.
No, the mech suit was Vala.
so with the claw attack that it uses. It gets a +2 attack bonus. Oh, and it does get an accuracy to it as well. So that brings it up to a 10. Does 10 beat your evasion in your pilot form?
My evasion is 10 with a light hard suit.
Okay. So that means you take 6. Whose was it? You take 6 kinetic damage.
oh,
It's not looking good,
Okay.
Chief.
that's pilot HP.
Not
Yeah.
looking good, Chief.
If your pilot HP goes down, you're dead.
So I think I'm at 1 hit point.
Okay.
So-
I think we all have 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so my my pilot armor has a bonus 3 hit points.
Oh,
Oh, so you'd actually
And I-
be at 4.
Okay.
So you have 4 hit points left.
oh, do I have even more then? Because I have a heavy heart suit.
You'd have to look to see what the heavy hard suit does. Right now, you're not in pilot mode, so it doesn't
Oh, that's
matter.
fair. That's fair. Yeah, academic. Yeah.
Yep.
So, seeing that you are still alive, and I forgot I need to roll to see if it gets any of its stuff back. Nope. Nope. All right. Oh, the speed boost. Oh, it does recharge. Never mind. I was about to say, oh, I can just speed boost whenever I want. Nope. Yeah, it's going to point its arm cannon at its back and try and hit you with its acid spray.
Oh God.
Pissed it off, and you're leeching onto it.
Does a 9 hit your evasion?
Ugh.
It does not.
Okay, so you see this big glob of acid start coming towards you, and you just move as far as you can. You can see it kind of go. It hits your hard suit a little bit, and you can see little holes start to form. You brush it off really quick. You get some duct tape and tape it up so you're not losing atmosphere. Still alive.
Oh.
What's it gonna do? It's really not liking. No, it's going to take a. It's gonna over. It's gonna overcharge because it's not smart enough to realize what it's doing. Takes a full 3 hit.
I was gonna say
That's
if it
fine.
takes more.
Heat.
I was gonna say if it takes more heat, does anything else? Is it doing harm to itself, or is it reset?
So the way heat works is when you hit your heat cap, it's just like structure damage. When you hit your heat cap, you roll on the stress table. And then you reduce your stress by 1. Each mech has 4 structure and 4 stress. The thing with stress damage is when you roll poorly on the structure damage, your mech is destroyed. When you roll poorly on the stress, the overheat table, your mech explodes, taking everything out within 10 feet of it.
Ah!
So, heat damage gets real bad real quick.
Eddie, you need to run.
But
Just-
due to the fact that it really doesn't like you, it's going to use that overcharge to try and claw you one more time.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately. So that's a 17, and it gets an accuracy, which brings it up to a 20.
Hmm.
Doesn't if it's engaged with me, does that give it difficulty?
No, because it's a melee attack.
Okay.
It
The
rolled a
ranged attack
17
it gets-
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are going to take double damage from that because it's a crit.
And it's 1, right? So 2 damage total.
So 12 kinetic damage.
Ooh.
You're a smear.
So it reaches back and grabs you off of its back, and you guys can see Rishenko standing there, and it just goes tsh, and pieces of Rishenko fall to the ground as it throws the rest of it away.
Oh God, I got quarroed.
I think
However,
I've seen that animation in Dead by Daylight.
that is the end of its turn.
Better be.
Who wants to go into the next?
Yeah, no one else wants to
I'm because that effect for the double damage with the
It lasts until it clears the exposed condition, which requires a full action. It requires that stabilize that you just did. This creature would have to stabilize to get rid of exposed. So until it does that, it remains exposed.
I'm gonna swing.
Go for it.
Because I have a catalytic hammer.
Go for it. So you just watch one of your new allies just get shredded in front of you. Blood and excrema, or viscera, covers your mech.
Eddie!
Probably that too.
I literally don't know if I'm supposed to add any.
Beyond
I don't know if I'm supposed to add anything else to this. I really feel like I'm lowballing all the stuff that I have.
All right, so let me look at your thing real quick here.
It just doesn't feel like I don't get anything else other than when I swing.
So yeah. So there's no bonus to it other than your grit. So it's a d20 plus your grit.
Yeah.
And then you do a d3 plus 5 kinetic damage, which is a decent amount of damage.
Okay, so that's 17.
17 definitely hits. So go ahead and roll the damage and then double it.
Okay, so it's a D3, so... Well, I rolled a 6,
So that's 3.
so 3. So then are we going... So we're saying 3 plus 8, and then 16?
So 3 plus 5 equals 8. Double it to 16. It goes down to 0 again. And then that takes 4 damage. Remember, you still have 12 damage left. And now it rolls twice, I think. I want to check the structure damage thing, because I think each time you take an additional point of structure damage, you roll an additional die. I think.
Wait, really?
I'm going to look.
Because I did not do that.
Alright, so structure damage. Okay. When a character with structure reaches 0 hit points, it takes 1 structure damage, makes a structure damage check, and resets. So I don't know why it says multiple ones, unless you somehow have to roll multiple times.
I think on 1 specifically, you have to roll twice.
Alright, well, I'm only going to roll once, and I have to get to the right thing, because it has a special, because it's biological, it has a special thing. So it's going to take its structure damage. Gets another 3. It's knocked prone, so it's knocked prone again. And Yeah. And then I have 14 more damage, right? Or 12 more damage?
I believe that's what you said.
All right. Cool. So you sit there and you hit this thing, and it hits it hard, and again, it knocks it on its ass. That was... Were you doing a full barrage, or was that a skirmish?
I was just swinging. I didn't know if I had what I could do in regards to multiple attacks or not. If I could do like a overcharge or not.
So, have you used any quick actions this turn?
No.
Okay. So, the way that combat works in Lancer is as a full action, you can make a barrage, which allows you to attack with 2 different weapon mounts.
Oh, okay.
So if this is a barrage, that means you hit it with 1 weapon mount. Now you can attack it with a weapon mounted on a different mount. Or if you wanted that just to be a skirmish, which going forward you have to declare if you're doing a full
Oh, okay.
a full barrage or a skirmish before, because a skirmish is just a quick action, which would just be the attack, and then you'd have another quick action you could do something else with. So,
And to
question
be
for
fair,
you.
my weapon, the catalytic hammer does have loading as an attack, so I didn't know if that affected this at all or not.
Loading means that you can't attack with it again until you take the stabilize action to reload it.
Okay.
So, that's a one and done.
Yeah.
So, did you want to barrage or do you want to skirmish?
I guess barrage.
Okay. So choose a different weapon than the catalytic hammer.
The only other weapon I have is my deck sweeper shotgun.
Okay. Go ahead and
And-
take an attack with that then.
I don't gain difficulty from being engaged with it.
No, because it has a threat range.
Well, no, because I have combined arms. I didn't know if that was
That works too, but
Yeah.
and since it's prone, you get an accuracy. I think.
And my tag is also inaccurate, so that I guess that just cancels out.
Yeah, let me look real quick before I say the wrong thing. Status is prone. All attacks against prone target get a +1 accuracy. So I think. Wait. Yeah, +1 accuracy. Because white is the okay. So it cancels out your inaccurate, so it's just a flat roll. Go for it.
Okay. 11 plus my grit, 12.
Hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
2d6 kinetic. 6 and 5. It's 11 kinetic.
So that turns to 22. So 7 damage off.
Making sure that sacrifice was not in vain.
I'm going to make another structure check. Again gets knocked prone. And then it takes the remaining 15 damage. Leaves it at 4 hit points. Okay. It's still alive, but it looks real rough. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
And I'm guessing, can I put my shield out again, or is that...
That's a protocol. It has to happen at the beginning of your turn.
Okay.
So, no, you can't.
I think that's all... Hit with a...
So you have
That's
no
all-
more
that's all-
actions.
yeah, that's all
unless
my
you want to
Overwatch.
unless you want to overcharge and shoot it again.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Your shotgun doesn't have the loading property, does it?
No, it does
Okay.
not. That's just my
then
hammer.
shoot away, but don't forget to take your.
Oh, I will. Yep. I've built up next to no heat, so I'm at 2 heat.
So, and again, your first overcharge is 1 heat. Your second overcharge is
Oh.
1d3 heat. So you actually have to
Oh.
roll for it.
Okay, so I'm actually 1. Roll a d6. I rolled a 3.
Okay, so that would be 2 heat.
Okay, so I'm at 3 heat now.
Yeah.
Okay. Ah! 19 on the die! Plus my grit!
All right, so you do double damage. Go ahead and roll.
Hammer time.
No,
I'm gonna see
Maureen,
real
this is
quick.
Maureen. This is Maureen. This is the shotgun.
So I think I'm forgetting how. Energy patterns attack, melee attack, critical hits. On turn, it causes a critical hit or critical hit. All damage dice are rolled twice, and the highest result from each source of damage is used. So it's not double damage. It's you roll twice and get extra.
I thought it was because of Roshenko's thing that he did.
Yeah, Cheesy has their own rules for crits because that's how crits work. But for you, you can roll 2d6 twice and take the higher of the 2 results.
Okay.
That's how a normal crit works. Or
I
technically,
just get extra dice on top of it. Well, I mean, he's marked for death anyway.
yeah.
Well, I thought no, because of Roshenko's exposure.
It'll take double damage from the exposure, but you don't get
Yeah.
additional double. You don't double the damage
Yeah, I don't
from
double-
the crit. So just roll
Yeah,
4d6. Take the 2 highest numbers.
6,
Okay.
3, 1. So 6 and 3.
Okay, so 9. We're going to double that because of the exposure to 18. It's down to 0 structures. So, yeah, as you come back... so you guys watch as... to narrate this and make this a little bit cooler. You watch as the creature reaches back, rips Roshenko off of his back, kind of looks at it, and then crushes it in his claw. And as he does that, you watch as he drains the life out of Roshenko, and you start watching as bits of the damage that you guys have done starts to slowly close. You see wounds start closing themselves. Brick goes brutal. He takes his shotgun hammer, and as it slams into it, you see this huge explosion as the shell goes off and launches the hammer into it. It knocks the creature down, cracks the chest open. Brick comes up closer, puts the shotgun right next to it, takes one shot and blasts a big hole into the creature. He racks the shotgun, shoves it into the chest of the creature. Do you
Same
have
brain.
do you have a pithy epithet that you want to say before you pull the trigger?
This is for Eddie, you son of a bitch.
You pull the trigger and you watch as the creature just kind of bursts out. Dead. So, let's do the right music for this one. So,
Okay,
creature-
look, I'm not completely stupid, but I have to ask. And he's looking to the chambers. Can we save Eddie?
What's left? I go over and see if there's anything, if there's a body.
well, there's a few bits of the body that weren't desiccated from the Metroid just draining all the life out of it. Like there's an eyeball over here, and there's like part of a leg. You think you find like his left butt cheek.
Oh, he needs the brain.
I'm gonna say no unless you can find a very intact brain.
I'm going to take the eyeball and
Oh my God.
put it into storage. We can rebuild him.
Do we
Okay.
have the money?
All right.
Technology?
Just based off memory,
Mm-hmm.
do we have any reason to believe that Echo might still be in control of our ship?
Yeah, Echo is running the ship, so Echo
Yeah.
is still there.
There's still a copy of Echo on the ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, we need Rishenko's in the world, and I will clone him.
Well, you're gonna get a body double, not a Rishenko double.
Rishenko the
Okay.
second.
So, safe to say this thing took out most of the space pirates. We still have an Echo on our ship to deal with. What do we want to do with this station? What do we want to core? I don't know if I want to hand 19 more of those creatures over to that shady general,
We
even
still
for
have
this paycheck.
we still have admin access. Can't we just shut these things down?
I think if we go up top or
As you're
Or-
speaking, you guys suddenly feel the room like shift and shake as the deconstruction protocol that you enacted before you went in here finishes, and the central core and storage is detached from the rest of the station. So you guys are now free floating in space.
okay, we need to go check if there are escape pods or any kind of escape vectors from this that are not our ship.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do what I can to head back up to the administrative terminal.
Yeah, the
Okay.
okay.
Now that there's not, stuff happening, it's
Yeah.
not difficult to get there.
All right.
Any escape pods, any other means of transport from the detached?
There are no escape pods built into this thing. This thing, in and of itself, is an escape pod. It does have some thrusting capabilities. Like, it doesn't have a star drive or anything like that that'll allow it to move interstellarly. But it is designed to be able to maneuver on its own a little bit, to be able to get it back to where it's supposed to be and things like that. So you can pilot it from that central console.
It'd take forever to get anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Well, the station itself was located in an asteroid belt, in a solar system near the edge of Galactic Federation space. There are other planets in the solar system.
Were any of them
You
habited?
don't know. You guys didn't scan them when you came in. You were kind of beelining it for this.
Yeah. Do we know the name of the system?
It's the Vedius system.
Okay.
Which is the same name as the station.
Okay. Um. Any ideas?
Well, if any of them are inhabited and you send out a distress signal, do you have any way of boosting a signal and maybe, I don't know, contact other bounty hunters? Sure, not
We'd
gonna
have no way of knowing who would respond to it,
Yeah.
and I don't want anyone to find out. Is there a way to destroy just the lab underneath us?
So all these things are designed to be modular,
Right.
and you've destroyed the door that would allow it to keep atmosphere.
Right.
So if you were to eject, like, each one of the things in here can eject on their own. If you were to eject it, everything on the inside of that station would be exposed to the vacuum of space.
Right. But the genetic material would still be intact, so there's no way to detonate it.
Make me a skill test.
Doesn't a place like this have a power core?
Yeah, but that might affect the whole thing. Okay, skill. I have a trigger, blow something up. Would this
Sure,
apply?
yeah, we'll say that applies.
Rare side of
Um,
Tevin here.
Can I assist? Because I also have blow something up.
Sure, take an accuracy for Brick. Both you guys going, yeah, I know how to blow
Excellent.
shit up.
That's gonna be a total of 17.
17. Okay. Um, the ship has, or this part has small engines. Engines can be overloaded, cause to explode. However, if you were to do that, you would no longer have propulsion.
Yeah. Um, okay. I think that we use the engines to blow the lab underneath. Echo will still want what's left for the data. We dock with our ship. We deal with Echo once we're on board.
So, man.
Hey, Cheesy, can you download all the files? I don't. Originally Eddie was going to do that.
Yeah, I can do that.
And if Echo decides to cut their losses and move on with their lives, fallback plan is a stress signal. Worst case scenario, there's no lab for whoever shows up to take.
Yeah.
We can wipe the data on the drives up here once we make a copy of it.
Those wake up, man.
Okay.
Everyone good?
We just need to make sure no more of those chambers open up. We can't have those things grow in space.
That's why I want to blow it up with the engines. So,
So, because it is very, very late, fast forward a little bit, you guys are able to successfully explode the samples as you meet up.
I love fireworks.
Yeah. As you meet up with Echo, he is incredibly upset with you. But if there is still data on the computer core, according to Echo, they're still willing to pay you for the data.
Well,
It will be an extremely reduced rate because, again, you were supposed to. The reason you were here was for the samples, and you
I
no
think it's
longer
gonna be-
have them.
I think it's going to be triple because we weren't supposed to make it back.
As far as you can
Yeah.
tell, the initial plan to kind of sum things up here. The initial plan was just for you guys to not be aware that the samples were there, and you were going to be paid exactly. If you'd done exactly what the job was supposed to, you would have been paid exactly what you were supposed to be paid.
yeah, they were counting on one escaping. Well, do
As
we
far
leave
as-
data?
As far as Echo is concerned, the stuff that happened on the ship, because he wasn't able to get his clones back, he has no idea what happened on the ship. So you guys can tell him whatever you want.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
That means he doesn't know we have a copy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Um. Why don't we leave a little data, like the least harmful data, on? Tell them we were only able to file transfer a little bit before things got out of control. We still
Basically,
have all
like
of our
the biomedical stuff that they claimed
yeah,
was happening.
like there were
out here.
there were monsters. We weren't really sure what's going on. We did what we can, but there's some sort of creature like made something explode and detach.
Yeah.
It was a lot going on. There were pirates. The pirates were killed too. Um, it was a mess. We did what we could. We got a little bit of info on what's left of this core.
when you mention monster, Echo specifically asks, did you witness this monster? Did you see it?
It got Eddie.
It's like a blur. Like it was just a blur, and then suddenly there was nothing left of Rashenko.
Okay, it seems satisfied with that answer.
Yeah,
That was not a lie.
single core CPU.
They haven't learned multi-threading yet.
And we hitch a ride.
Okay. So you guys are able to get back. You are told flat out that you will never work for the Galactic Federation again with how badly you screwed this up. But you do
We did our
get
best.
a small payday. Again, it's probably it's the equivalent of like a decent bounty. So
Well, considering how often you guys seem to screw things up, I think I'll have to live with that.
and all of you are returned to your various ships.
I kind of mutter under my breath as I walk back. I'm like, I think I'm starting to understand her methods now.
And as you all return to your ships and start heading out looking for other non-Federation bounties to hunt.
I put Rashenko's eye into a stasis tube, and using the
eye?
new data that they have
I imagine
allowed.
it's a container of like the slurry that's left
Yeah,
of like anything
even
God be trying to
even
collect.
with the data that they have, for some reason allowed Cheesy to keep,
Mm-hmm.
he will rebuild Rashenko better.
Cheesy is the bad guy of the next mini campaign.
As you all head off to the various areas, unbeknownst to all of you, a blue hunter gunship starts tracking all of you.
Almost.
But that is another story for another time. And that is where Metroid Inquest ends. So, thank you so much to.
I'm sorry,
everybody here.
Rashenko.
I'm very happy that my sacrifice paid off.
So, yeah, thank you so much for you guys for playing. I hope you guys had fun. I had fun. Lancer's a bit of a bitch to learn in less than a month, but I think things turned out as well as they could. I know we made mistakes in there in many, many places.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you guys had fun. I had a blast. And yeah, that's all for this campaign. So tomorrow will be my last daily December video for 2024, and then the day after is New Year's, and we'll see what happens in the new year.
Are we going to be playing?
Yeah, I am still planning on running my regular D&D game on Wednesday. So if you want to come back here Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central, you can watch some Dungeons and Dragons get played instead of mech combat, which I know that system's significantly better since I've been playing it for 10 years. So, anyway, again, it's going to be all for me today, and I will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.